Welcome everyone, I'm Jeff from the Overwatch team, and this is Overwatch This.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 42 of Overwatch This. 42, we now know that the meaning of life, the universe and everything is Jeff Kaplan's own Overwatch.
Yeah.
Blizzard have enlightened all our lives and are here because it's August, which means it's time for Summer Games.
Yay!
It's back!
They actually told us when it was going to be.
I know.
They saved our show because we had nothing to talk about. We were in so much trouble. And then, yes, thankfully last night, Jeff Kaplan gave it the old developer update.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say at the start, I'm Jeff from the Overwatch team. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that.
How
could I not?
It's creepy. I don't know. I think this one may have been made in a slight bit of hurry. Anyway, what did he say, man?
Well, August the 8th is when we can expect it.
A week yesterday.
Yeah, and obviously, importantly, new skins, right? And that is the big deal.
That's what's important. So he announced that, there are going to be new skins for Mercy. Everybody loves a Mercy skin.
Yes, yeah.
That's what we've learned.
I mean, he was wearing the
years.
Mercy T-shirt, right?
It's
and
a good
saying
T-shirt.
Good T-shirt.
I want it now.
I mean, me being Mercy and Diva main, I think I should probably have one of both.
Yeah,
but
yeah. The Mercy T-shirt was sweet. There's also going to be a Junkrat skin, and then he said Roadhog, and then said, "Oh no, wait, Roadhog's not getting anything," which either means Roadhog's definitely getting something. Or Roadhog's definitely not getting something. That much is up for you to decide. As for the skins that we do know about, which are Mercy and Junkrat,
they're legendaries.
they're going to be legendaries. We're pretty sure that Junkrat's is going to be cricket.
Yep.
Because the whole thing is set in Australia this time. Cricket is one of the
Classic
national
Australian,
pastimes of Australia. And also, obviously, it just works really well with what
Well, I
he
mean,
does,
he's grenade
firing
launcher
balls.
fires.
It already
balls,
fires
yeah.
cricket balls, you were telling me earlier,
Yeah.
which I didn't even realise. So there is that. It's also possible it could be tennis. Was that what it?
Because that was his spray,
It was
right,
his spray
last
last year. And we're wondering if there's going to be a relation there. And then Mercy. Now we actually think that's going to be tennis, right?
Yeah.
Just because it
sort of
it kind of
suits her, right?
matches
Yeah.
with what she does. And she had a badminton skin last year, but I think they would go with tennis over badminton just as like a more well-known sport. So look forward to those. He also said that he thinks the Mercy skin is one of the best ones they've done.
Yeah,
right?
which makes me incredibly excited.
Yeah, because she's had really good skins.
Yeah.
Like all of her skins are amazing, particularly like Witch, and I really like her Origin skin. I don't know how popular that one is in general, but yeah, so that should be good. Beyond that, obviously sprays, intros. Jeff mentioned silly stuff.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's gonna be like a set of emotes of some kind.
Maybe. I'm also hoping, that whole Roadhog bait. I'm hoping Roadhog is swimming.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully he gets to go swimming. We'll just have Roadhog in the onesie.
Yeah, like a bathing costume.
He's he'll be a good looking fella. I think he could beat some Phelps records. He's like big, he's so big. Surely that it would be an advantage over.
It creates a floating device.
He's literally
for
a shark.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what's going on with those. Also, the new loot box rules are going to be in place. So those were patched in like last week or the week before when Doomfist came in. But this is the first time they're going to be in for an event.
Yeah, so duplicates and stuff like that going to be
stuff.
less of a problem for any of you guys.
Exactly. So you basically shouldn't get any event duplicates until you already have all of the event items. Roughly, I think there is a very small chance that you will get dupes, but it basically shouldn't happen. You will get more currency in boxes, but also they said they were going to bring back all the old cosmetics, obviously, from last year and discount them to normal legendary price.
So those ones are going to be 1,000, right?
Yeah. So basically, like, what was there last year? Weightlifter Zarya, and
Tracer in the Union Jack.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tracer's running stuff. Those will be 1,000 rather than 3,000. Those weren't even buyable for credits. I'd completely forgotten this.
Yeah, they
until
didn't
Jeff
have that
mentioned it.
system back in the day.
They then patched that in. That was for Halloween, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got that ready. So, you can expect all that. This also tells us like how events are going to work. We already knew they were going to come back. What I would expect is that sometimes we won't get certain ones. Like maybe this year we won't get Chinese New Year, we'll get something else. Or I think there'll always be Halloween. I think there'll always be Summer Games because it was the first one they did.
Yeah, they're also kind of classically American holidays, right? Which
Yeah.
sort of like fit more in the company that makes it, right? Or
Yeah,
American,
exactly.
so-
Yeah, and I think we'll always get the anniversary for obvious reasons. But I think some of the others you could see moving around. So yeah, you can expect them to come back. You can expect the previous year's cosmetics to return, but be down to normal price. What this also says to me is that they are very willing to change the prices of items if they need to. So in 5 years, in 10 years, however many years it takes for them to, maybe improve their legendary system, like the way they make skins, I can see current legendary skins or current epic skins being discounted because they are no longer up to, the same quality that we'll be getting of skins by that time. I can even see that happening in the next year, particularly with like some of the original legendaries that are, they're good, they look nice, but they aren't quite at the same level as some of the event legendaries. So I could see those also getting discounted in the future. We can also expect remixes on certain elements that have come back, because the Lucioball change.
Yes, it's back. Yeah. Lucioball is returning. It's had a few tweaks.
Yes.
Like, first off, it's in a different arena, so we'll be going to Sydney, Australia.
Yeah,
this
like
time.
we said, the whole thing's kind of set in Australia this time.
But basically, there've been lots of tweaks, and we'll start off with kind of like the very basics, right?
Yeah, so they've changed how ultimates work. It basically sounds like they're trying to make it so they allow for more kind of sweet individual play. Previously, it would like draw the ball towards you, and I thought it was super cool. I liked how it let you move the ball around, but there was a lot of kind of slightly cheap stuff you could do by like standing in the opponent's goal and then pressing it and using that as like a shot rather than using it to like reposition the ball, which is what it was originally intended for. Now it's going to basically just like make you faster, make you jump higher, make you boot more. It just like makes you a much better Lucio, and it'll be interesting. If you time all that together as well, like if 3 people use them at the same time, that'd be good. It also encourages more teamwork more than the other one did, because the other one was a very individual action. But this one also buffs you up for a longer period of time to let you do more sweet plays. They also removed player booping, because apparently, and I never saw this, but people booping other people out of the opposing goal so they couldn't defend properly was a problem. I can imagine that being incredibly frustrating.
Yeah,
like you want to be like out positioned and it be good shots, not just be that someone was standing in your goal and booped you out at the last minute. And yeah, there's a new map which we're assuming is going to have the same layout.
Yeah, I imagine it's probably it's going to be the background, I'd imagine, of it, so like the setting of it.
Yeah, like it'll still be a fairly standard looking pitch, but all the art and stuff will be different. Maybe like the actual art of the pitch itself will be different, but the actual kind of layout and how it works are not going to suddenly be blocks everywhere or ramps or whatever. So that's kind of the basics. But what's really exciting for me, and what I actually think is really exciting for the future Overwatch as a whole, and we'll explain this as we go, I promise this isn't total madness, is that they've added this competitive mode.
Yeah.
So you can play Lucioball in a team of 3 or just on your own or whatever, and it will actually kind of track your MMR. Presumably it's going to start flat. It's not going to base it on your normal competitive MMR, because obviously it's basically a completely different game that aiming isn't as important, but positioning is very important, and it has whole different goals and all the rest of it. So yeah, you'll be actually be able to play competitively. You get rewards if you do 10 placement matches. You get 1 spray, and if you come top 500 in your region, you get another spray. So that's cool. But it's like running this 3-week season that's just going to be in the arcade. So this isn't something they've done before. And what Jeff actually said was, we're excited to kind of roll this out and keep doing it and have more of these 3-week seasons in the future. And what that will allow them to do is, currently competitive Overwatch, and as we kind of touched on this a little bit last week when we were talking about all the toxic stuff, it's not in a brilliant place. I don't think it's quite as bad as some of the people that are playing it all the time feel, because obviously the more you play it, the more frustrated you'll get with the smaller elements. But it is definitely not in a position where it is one of the best games in the world when it comes to proving your own personal skill and having a really nice ladder system and all the rest of it. It's certainly in a better state than it was a year ago when it didn't exist, but it is something that needs improvement. And a lot of that comes down to the format, where 6 people load into a game and you just got to hope that you have someone who's willing to play support, and people want to play 2 tanks or 3 tanks, or people have a good idea for how to counter the current meta or whatever. And while there are successful players that play Junkrat or play Torbjorn or whatever, it can be difficult to match those guys all up. And with all the toxicity as well, there is definitely a problem where that they can't basically balance this competitive environment to be fun for everybody, and it feels like a crapshoot even for some of the better players that I follow or that you see on YouTube. If they are having problems, then your average player like me or you, Matt, isn't gonna have fun when they go to play that. So what this allows them to do is they can test new competitive formats, maybe elimination, maybe mystery heroes, maybe some sort of mode where when you load in, you pick a role and then you have to pick heroes from that role for the rest of the game. What that would allow them to do is actually test this like on live servers. They don't have to test it on the PTR where nobody bloody plays, and when people do, they're just interested in seeing what the new features look like and recording a 5-minute video and then putting it on the internet. So they can actually test this in client. They can point people towards it. They can have its own MMR. They can test it as much as they like, and they can run it for 3 weeks or longer or shorter, and they can see how that actually operates. And what that will mean is that we'll actually have a more diverse competitive environment that they can attempt to change without having to either put it on the PTR when nobody plays, or just like make a huge sweeping change and not have the somewhat reliable if flawed version of the game still there.
Absolutely, and surely it obviously means that there's a chance for slightly higher stakes for people that don't actually want to jump all the way into competitive, but want to have an arcade system that offers them a little bit more. It
also means that like whenever they, make a new game mode like Capture the Flag, they can have a competitive version of that for people that want to play that way. It is frustrating when you are either the kind of player that doesn't want to play competitively and just likes to chill out and whatever, or you are the kind of person that really likes to get in there and try to win every game and that sort of thing. When you're forcing those two people to play together because there's only one Capture the Flag queue or whatever, that's a problem. That's something you want to get rid of. And so I would 100% expect that when Rooster comes back this year, or when Chinese New Year comes back this year, or whatever it is that is the Capture the Flag kind of event this year, it will come with a competitive Capture the Flag ladder. I also expect that maybe during Halloween, if they bring back some sort of PvE mode, there'll be an actual leaderboard for that, where you compete against other people, and it is a competitive thing where you're trying to climb the leaderboard, and they can actually track all that. So yeah, it's super sweet.
Right, that's everything from episode 42 of Overwatch This. We're going to be heading into the Summer Games next week, so from August 8th, which will mean that the next episode we'll be able to have just a better look at what all of these wonderful skins are.
We'll just be talking about how great Lucioball is, I expect.
Oh yeah, definitely
half an hour.
But until next time, do please give us a like, a subscribe, and have fun.